another Cubbie's Corner here on CIS, and I'm Colin, the Media Relations Manager, and this is Jordan, Media Relations Assistant. So here we're going to be with you all season, kind of just talking about the Iowa Cubs and what they did here at Principal Park and then on their road trips as well. So Jordan, what did you kind of see in those first three games here at home?
Absolutely incredible weekend to start off the season for the Iowa Cubs. Game one, big 11-5 win, back-to-back homers from David Bodie and Matt Mervis. They broke out the hard hats on that one. We'll see it all season long. Hitters went 8 of 9 to record a hit. 5 hitters had multiple hits, and the bullpen was amazing. 5 innings, allowed just 1 run on 2 hits for the first win of the season.
Yeah, so game 2 wasn't quite as big of a blowout with that 11-5 in game 1, but we did see our first walk-off victory. We won 4-3 over the Columbus Clippers. That 4-3 win actually got Marty Peavy, our manager, his 600th victory of the year, or of his managerial career here with Iowa. So this is his 11th season managing here, and that was win number 600. So that was really cool to see. We got first walk-off of the season, and you saw Bryce Windham, our catcher, in his AAA debut go 2 for 3. So had no problems with the new level at all.
Huge win for Marty Peavy. It wasn't long until he got 6-0-1, game 3 of that series, a 12-11 victory. Nelson Velasquez goes 3 for 4 with a home run, a double, 3 runs, and 2 RBI. The pitchers that day, 13 strikeouts combined, and Nick Birdie earned the first save of the season. Cubs sweep 3-0, first 3-0 start since 2017.
Yeah, so we took that 3-0 start at home and went right on the road. Our Tuesday and Wednesday games in St. Paul were both postponed due to some cold weather, typical April in Minnesota, so that was kind of tough. But Thursday we got right back after it with another 12-11 wins. So we had back-to-back 12-11 wins. Some familiar names for Chicago Cubs fans. Christopher Morel went 3 for 5 and hit the go-ahead run in with a 2-run single. And then you had Nelson Velasquez, who's been on an absolute tear, had his third 2-hit game of the season just 4 games in. So it was our first 4-0 start since 1998.
Big start, but the winning it did have to come to an end at some point. Game 2 of that St. Paul series, a 6-2 loss. Riley Thompson gave up just 1 run in 4 innings in his AAA debut. Huge game for him, but Rowan Witt came in after, gave up 4 runs in his 1.2 innings. The Cubs had just 6 hits, but 3 of them coming from Jonathan Perlaza as he went 3 for 3, still a loss, the first one of the year for Iowa.
Game 3 of the series against the Saints, we got back on the winning track. It was a crazy game. There was 5 different lead changes in just a 7-inning game. So we played a two-game doubleheader, so both games were 7 innings. In that first game of the doubleheader, like I said, we won 9-7. Dom Nunez had a clutch home run of the season, his first all year, that tied the game in the 6th, and then Darius Hill, with the bases loaded and 2 outs, knocked in 2 runs with a single. All Darius does is hit. We saw it last year. He led the minor leagues in hits with 167, and this year he just has kept going in his opportunities that he's gotten. So we won game 1, 9-7 in a crazy thriller.
Game 2 of that doubleheader, not so good for Iowa, an 8-5 loss. Some errors and some hits led to a 5-run first inning, and Iowa just couldn't recover from there. The Cubs put together 5 runs in the second inning, but that would be all they did all game. Nick Neidert allowed 8 runs on 11 hits in his 2.1 innings, so not the best one for Iowa, but they bounced back the next day.
Yeah, we did. With the chance to win our second straight series, Iowa came out yesterday hot, won 11-2 over St. Paul to take the series. David Bodie showed out, went 3 for 5, and ended up hitting a grand slam in the 7th inning that kind of blew the game open. Along with David Bodie, Sergio Alcantara drove in 4 runs as well. So between the two of them, were 8 of the 11 runs driven in. 4 hitters in Iowa's lineup had multi-hit games. And Caleb Killian kind of bounced back from his first rough start here on Sunday at home and went 4 innings, just giving up 1 run. We turned 2 double plays behind him, so the defense was playing well. So it's the first time we've had back-to-back series victories to start a season since at least 2005. So these iCubs are hot. Get on down to Principal Park for sure to come down and watch them. We got the winning ways right now, starting 6-2 in our first 8.
Some really big players. We touched on them a little bit. Nelson Velasquez, a .364 average, 12 hits, 3 home runs, 2 doubles, 8 runs, 7 RBIs. The dude does nothing but hit. We've got a couple other players who do the same.
Yeah, Christopher Morel, like I said, Cubs fans know the name. He debuted last year up in the big leagues. He's hitting .367 with 11 hits. He does have 1 home run, 4 doubles, showing off the speed. He's driven in 7. He's gotten on base at a .513 clip, and with with 8 walks along the way. So he's been at the top of the lineup for the I-Cubs in all 8 games so far, and showing off, getting on base, setting the lineup up to score all those runs. So it's been pretty impressive what we've seen from Morel and Velasquez.
Another big name on the offense, David Bodie. We mentioned his grand slam on Sunday. He had a home run in game 1, and he had what was supposed to be another home run right behind us on the wall. We claim that that ball went over the wall, wind blew it out, would have been the go-ahead. Crazy year so far for David Bodie. Some incredible pitching performances so far as well.
Yeah, one of those pitchers we've seen here for the last couple of seasons. He's a relief pitcher. Brendan Little, he made his Major League debut last year up in Toronto. He's pitched in 3 games so far. He's thrown 5 1/3 innings with 9 strikeouts. So really punching people out at a pretty impressive clip there. He has just a 1.69 ERA. He's allowed 4 hits and just 1 earned run in those 5 1/3. So really reliable left-handed arm to come in and get the job done in the later innings.
Nick Birdie for the I-Cubs, the closer this year, 2 games, 2 innings, 2 saves. He's given up no runs and only 1 hit, striking out 5. He's just been the lock at the end of the bullpen, and it's been great to see Birdie so far this year.
Yeah, I know St. Paul has a hot gun, but I think we saw 101 a few times with Birdie closing out that first game of the doubleheader on Saturday, so pretty impressive stuff from him. Some roster movement. We actually haven't had a ton of roster moves so far this year. The last couple years have been a little bit more crazy than we started this year, but we do have Seiya Suzuki down on Major League rehab right now. Good to see him kind of get back to full health. He's played in 2 games, like I mentioned. He's gone 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored, an RBI, and he did take a walk. So kind of just getting back into normal games and stuff. We should expect to see him up with Chicago sometime this week, but right now he's here. So come down to Principal Park and see him while you can.
Brandon Hughes, another Major League rehab we've got going right now, has made just 1 appearance through 1 inning, struck out 1, gave up 2 hits. We could see him again this week at Principal Park, and we had just 1 other roster move over the weekend.
Yeah, so the first 2 are kind of exciting with Seiya Suzuki and Brandon Hughes both making their way back to full health. Unfortunately, on the other side of that was Bryce Windham. He got placed on the 7-day injured list. In that doubleheader on Saturday, he slid into a base and jammed his thumb up pretty good. So we saw him go up on the injured list, and then replacing him was Jake Washer. So he was a catcher on the developmental list, and now he's been added to the active roster just as a second catcher. So you'll see him in action here, making his AAA debut this week, probably at some point.
Yeah, lots of exciting stuff. We'll see Washer behind the plate, Dom Nunez, as we mentioned before. Pitchers for this week, similar rotation that we had in St. Paul.
Yeah, so we'll probably start the series out tomorrow night with Roenis Elias. He went 4 innings and gave up 4 home runs, 4 hits, 4 home runs. So every hit against him blew out. Those were all pretty wind-aided up at St. Paul. The wind was blowing out that day. So not quite telling of what we'll probably see. He walked 2 and struck out 5. So he's the first lefty that we'll see here Tuesday night against Omaha.
And Wednesday night against Omaha, Riley Thompson, we mentioned he made his AAA debut last week. 2.25 ERA for him through 4 innings, giving up just 1 run, 6 strikeouts. So you're going to see him super early on in his career. Could be a future Chicago star, so come see him while you can.
Yeah, and Thursday we get our opening night starter back, Adrian Sampson. He's kind of struggled through his first 2 starts. He does lead Iowa right now with 8 1/3 of innings pitched so far. But in those 8 1/3 innings, he's walked 10 batters. So the command is kind of something that Sampson's working on. But as I mentioned, he was right there fighting for one of those top pitching spots with Chicago. And he was our opening day starter. So we'll get to see him for the 3rd time this year.
Friday night, Fireworks Friday, we'll get to that later, but Nick Neidert, another guy who struggled a little bit early on in this season. 5.1 innings pitched, he's given up 15 hits, 10 runs, but he struck out 7, walked 5, so definitely potential for Neidert to bounce back in his home field again.
For sure, and as you mentioned, bouncing back, like I said, Caleb Killian bounced back in his last start yesterday against St. Paul. We'll hope to see that trend continue here on Saturday as he makes his 3rd start of the year. He's given up 13 hits in 6 1/3 innings, but that ERA went down from about 30 down to 12 this last Sunday. So hopefully we'll keep trending the ERA down towards the single digits.
Yeah, we like to see it drop, and we talked about our opponent, the Omaha Storm Chasers, for this weekend. Big hitter for them right now, Tucker Bradley, hitting .368, a .500 on-base percentage. Not as good as Morel, but he's up there.
Yeah, for sure. And then I guess just kind of previewing the series more so, not about the product you'll see on the field, but just in general what to expect here. Temperatures are in the 70s and maybe even reaching the 80s all week. So we're really excited to have some good weather. Kind of rare for April, but we'll take all the sunny days we can get like this one. So definitely looking forward to good weather, 70s and 80s and sunshine with baseball. You can't beat that. So.
Yeah, lots of great ticket deals for those weekday games. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I know we have the Windy City Bundle. A little bit windy today.
Yeah.
Great tickets there. Friday night, Firework Friday. We're going to also have Drake basketball out to make an appearance. If you're a Drake fan, don't miss it. If you're a baseball fan, don't miss Friday as well.
For sure. And then Saturday, we brought back last year, and it's continuing on this year. We'll have the pregame catch on the field. So Saturday is a 3:08 start, so from 2 o'clock to about 2:15, right when gates open, fans can come to our outfield grass and play catch with friends and family. So that's been a really cool tradition that we've had on Saturdays. And then continuing that tradition into Sundays is the kids run the bases after the game. So a really cool opportunity again to actually get onto the Principal Park Diamond and run the bases post-game, hopefully after another Sunday victory for the I-Cubs.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of winning so far for Iowa this year. Lots of winning to come, hopefully this week as well. The warm weather, like we talked about, come see Seiya Suzuki while he's in Iowa. Come see all of these great players that we've talked about all day. You can get your tickets at iowacubs.com.
Yes, like we said, 6-2 so far through our first 8. Hoping for 6 more wins here at home against Omaha, so we can head back on the road with what would that be? 12-2 record. We're first place right now. Come see our first place I-Cubs down in Principal Park this week. We're home Tuesday to Sunday playing the Omaha Storm Chasers, so a little bit of an I-80 rivalry there.
All I'm saying is I'm excited to watch the Cubs this week. I think you all should be too. Thanks for tuning in to Cubbie's Corner on CISM.